Good morning, everyone. Anna from Infinity Summer Series here. I keep forgetting. I'm going to have to reload the pictures on the front of these things. But anyway, so these readings that I'm about to do here are for summer, love, and sex. Love, sex, and romance, basically. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, so we're on to the Taurus female. Okay, so that's what we're working on this morning. First off, I want to thank my friend Laurie for this jewelry that she gave me that I'm wearing. She makes them herself, like right from scratch. And I will be posting the information for her website so you can look at her stuff. She's out of Calgary, Canada, and she really does terrific work. So if you're interested in something like that, have a look at her page there. And she also does custom work as well. So if there's something you don't see that she, you may want made up, she's open to looking at that. So that is ESYFLORESY. This is her business card. Her name's Laurie. She does handmade jewelry. So check her out. Again, I'll post the info below, the links for her Facebook page. She displays very beautifully a lot of her work. So you can see up front what you want. You like something, then you just order it from her. I don't know what the shipping deal is there, so you have to check with her on that. Okay, so that is who supplied me with my jewelry for this session. Okay, so we are on to the Taurus female. I got my morning face on. I'm just bare bones today. So we're going to get into this here. Very grounded. So we'll get into it. Okay, I'm going to start off here. I'll give details about my Facebook page later because I have a lot of gaps in between the sessions that I do seasonally. And between those gaps, I will be in the Facebook area, and that's where I do weekly readings and whatnot there. So you check me out there if you're wanting more readings throughout the year. I'm taking the summer off, but in the fall, I'll be back up again. Okay. So I go over all the energies, the general energies. I'm using 2 tarot decks to get down to the root of the problem, and then we go right into the love and then into the romance area and break it right down and highlight anything you may be having problems with or anything that may need to come forth, issues and whatnot. So we can get you over them and get you moving in the right direction. So the first card I get for the general overall energies is purpose. So when we're dealing with purpose, Taurus has a good sense of what they want to do with their life, or at least are puttering around with that, right? We're trying to, I'm sorry about the glare. I thought I had it figured out. We're trying to we're trying to get this part of our life cemented. Oh, this is going to bug me. It's conflicting with my shirt. Yeah. So anyway, our purpose is a greater part of what we are focused on this summer. Okay. I feel a sense of, it's kind of going smoothly. So this is what is the forefront of what's going on here in the Taurus female perspective. It's basically dealing with a lot of work issues. Okay. Now the next card I get is justice. So, and I'm getting it's injustice, and I feel like it's still at work. So we're feeling some injustices within the work area, okay? And we're learning to deal with that in a constructive way, okay? We're trying to, I'm getting a sense here that the female, the Taurus female, she's trying to get her, get to grips with her own power source here and go outward from that. It's almost like a feeling of, what is the word here? Like we're not using our greatest core of who we are to come forth. So like, we're not courageous, we're not being bold, and we're not telling people what we feel and think. Okay, that's what I'm getting. The next card I get is inspiration, and they're going, there's a lot of stuff that really needs to be worked on here. For the amount that the Taurus female is really, things are going quite smoothly. They're saying, yeah, they're picking up on a smooth run here, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done in order to kind of catch up with what kind of confidence we need to have at work. Feel like there's, what is the word? There's a word here. It's like shrieking away from responsibility of your own personality forth. Like being anti-courageous, cowering from lessons, cowering from, there's a greater sense of responsibility to who you are as an individual. Standing up for yourself is not happening in the work area for some reason. We're cowering, and we're going to see results based on that soon. They're going, we're not doing our full intended job here. I know this is a love reading, excuse me. When I start going, my nose goes nuts. We're not doing our intended full, like they're saying, okay, hold on here, I'm going to slow down. They're giving me a sense here. The Taurus female is quite happy with things at work, but under the surface, there's stuff brewing, okay? And what's going on here is the universe is about to give a pow-pow, coming out with some energy here to show you where you're going wrong, or highlight areas that need work, okay? That's really what it is. And so this is going to come in the form of inspiration. You know, I feel like they're using the word inspiration instead of insight because it's going to come out in a way that's going to make the Taurus female happy. It's going to be coming, oh, like, yeah, she can get excited about it. Okay. So she's dealing, definitely got her focus here on work. And we're thinking about the justice within that, but I think we're skipping over a few things here. We're kind of cushioning ourselves a little bit. We're not being truly honest with our viewpoint. And nonetheless, we end up having some inspiration here that we better follow. It's like we should follow because this is what's going to make things a lot easier in the future. Even though they're going well and fine now, they're going to be getting into an area where we're going a lot better. Okay? Things will start coming. Opportunities for advancement will come quicker, cleaner, faster, and we'll move up quicker if we follow the inspiration, okay? So I feel like they're going to be highly guided in that way to take advantage of situations. So be aware that that's coming at them, okay? And then if they do that, they'll be rewarded highly for that. So as we get into the general energies here, again, this is general reading. Sometimes I pick up on, you know, individual people that I'm going through situations, and it may apply to some or most, but for the most part, if it doesn't resonate, just don't try and make it fit. That's the only deal. And then if it does, you'll know. It's like, oh yeah, that's what I'm going through. And then just take what you get, right? Okay, so the first card we get is the 17. So the 17 is the star card. So that's about hopes, dreams, wishes fulfilled, you know, or not fulfilled, or just dreaming of things that you want to attain. So there's a great sense for the Taurus female doing that, putting wishes forward. So I get a sense here that we're not even doing it in a way to manifest. We're just filling our head with things that we want. We're dreaming of the future, things that we want to attain, which is a good vibe to be in because that's where it starts, right? Then the next card we get is the 3 of Wands. So there's a sense here that we're waiting for something to come in, waiting for our wishes to be fulfilled, waiting for something that we are hoping, and it's like they're going and praying for. There's something that they're wanting to come in, okay? The next card we get is the 5 of Pentacles. So the 5 of Pentacles is about feeling left out, you know, left out of something. So let's go to the next one, see where that sits. We have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords is about indecision or stalemate kind of energy, where we agree to disagree maybe, or we agree to make no motion forward. There's no movement here in a certain direction. I feel like that's contributing to the feeling of being left out. We're not being action oriented. We're very much in our head here with our dreams and waiting for things to manifest, but I feel like there's no action to make that happen, right? We're dreaming and wishing, we're caught up all in that, which is okay. But the next step is action. And I feel like there's an absolute inaction here. We're not moving forward. And through that process of not taking action, and it may be through things that are coming in the intuition, you know, you may be getting hunches here and not acting on them. And because of that, you're just feeling left out, you know, of a grouping. And the focus here for the Taurus female is on work. So we may have that kind of feeling at work where we're feeling left out, but we may have hunches like, you know, get in there, go do this, that we're not following. And then that's contributing to this feeling of not fitting in, right? Not because we're not making any action. So that's a base grounded energies, okay? For the Taurus female. Now, as we move forward, start out with the Eight of Swords. So we're getting deeper into the psyche here. Okay, I got a little thing stopping my card from going in there. Okay. We start off here with the Eight of Swords. Okay, now the Eight. See this woman, she's kind of, I call it my drama-rama card. The reason I say that is because she's kind of in a prison of her own making. She's in a situation where she's let fear entrap her, right? So we're letting, and it could be other people's opinions or your own opinion, right? Which is not usually, a lot of times, you know, it's not valid. We have a lot of weird things go on in our head, you know, tripping up the ego, stuff like that. That worry, oh, you know what, I'm not going to go forward because they're not going to, you know, they may not, you know, I don't know, like going off of this not feeling like they're fitting in, right? So you get an instinct. Let's go forward here. Let's butt in and say hi, you know, and not in an obnoxious way, but in a way it's like join the club, right? And there's self-doubt and fear. It's like, no, I don't know if they'll accept me. So we hold back. And that's this feeling. It's like, you know, I want to, but I'm not gonna. And so it's the fact that we could just join the group and things would be okay. And usually our head comes up with so many ideas that just aren't true, right? And that's this, is like a feeling of absolutely being left out of a social circle is what I'm getting here. But it's because they are hermiting away. They're going, oh, I don't fit. Or they have their own judgment of their own selves within their own Taurus female selves. They're judging themselves compared to this grouping. And the grouping is like, couldn't care less. They wouldn't judge them the way as harshly as they're judging themselves. So they're left in a prison themselves where they're, you know, feeling left out. So this is all part of that. So feeling caged, but I have a feeling it's the Taurus female herself who's boxing herself in, okay? So the next card I get is Queen of Wands. And they're going, that's the energy we need to have. Even though this one looks pretty chill, the Wands is the fire energy, right? It's that energy that gets up off the couch and gets moving, gets involved. We don't put barriers in between us and other people. We don't say, oh, I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not, I don't fit in, or I'm not like them, or whatever. We don't limit ourselves. We just get in there and we just do things. Queen of Wands is fiery that way. She'll get in there. So this earth energy needs to take a lesson from the fire and just get in there. That sunflower is speaking to me, you know, that self-confidence. Move forward. Yellow is a very powerful sunshine card. Happy. Just be happy and join the crowd, right? And a lot of that will just fall away. And when you face your fear, whether it's in public, joining people, you know, being accepted by people, I think is the bottom line here. Sometimes it's just not there. It's a veil that's just not there. It's an illusion, right? It's your ego talking, trying to trip you up. And your ego can stop you from going forward, right? It does all the time. You're not good enough, da, da, da. So it's bad ego, right? So we had to break through that and just, you know, emanate that happiness and just move forward in a fluid way and take off the barriers between you and other people. It's really what I'm getting here. Then we have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is that worry and stress, right? We're continuing. So not only are we feeling left out, now we're worrying and stressing about it. We're overthinking it to a degree that it becomes bigger and bigger and more of a problem and more of a problem. And then we're resonating in that energy. Then we start to attract people that resonate with that energy as well. So then we get proof on the outside. We start to get proof once we worry, right? And then it gets like, oh yeah, I don't fit in, da, da, da. But in the beginning, if we would have just let go of that barrier and walked right through it, we wouldn't have had a problem. We wouldn't have even had to deal with these kind of self-esteem issues, right? I'm bulking it as self-esteem, but it's a feeling of, you know, like I don't fit in, that kind of thing, for whatever reason, right? So the next card I get to end up with this is the Five of Cups. Yeah. So that advances, right? The stress and worry turns to depression and disappointment. And I feel like this is all within her own mind. She's not going outward with nothing, but her whole world is collapsing. Why? Because she's getting down on herself and she's resonating with that for too long that it's starting to manifest on the outside. It's really what's going on here. We have a Dramarama card where we're, you know, oh, something's going on and I want to get involved, but doubtful, resistance. And then we have the Queen of Wands, and they said, you know, this is the energy that she has to tap into. It's Queen of Wands energy. She has to be bold and forefront and not doubt things. You know, don't be so fearful. There's a lot of fear here moving forward. And then that's, you know, the anxiety. It's keeping her up at night. It's worrying her, stressing her out. And then it becomes into a depression. So it's deeper and darker. So we're really going down a black hole here for the Taurus female on our emotional kind of level here. We're not feeling the healthiest in that way. Okay. So we'll move past that. Get into love and romance. See what's going on in there. First card we get is the Queen of Cups, and that is her energy. And this energy is grounded and confident and stable. Okay. Also, this is easily tapped into. This is the core of who the Taurus female is. So we want her to stretch and get that. I feel like she's not quite attained that, or she's in a dip here, right? We're in a little bit of a rut. This is not normal. She has an essence about her that she can carry off. But on the inside, I feel like there's more work to do in order to get that strong and sturdy like it should be. So that's the energy they want her in. The energy that is naturally hers to take, and the energy that she wants to go forward in. She's just not realizing it at this point. Now, the next card we get is the Nine of Coins. Again, staying in that element of earth energy. The Nine of Coins is solid, stable relationships, okay? This could also mean close companion relationship, okay? Same sex, different sex, whatever. But nonetheless, something strong, sturdy, and stable that they're looking to or dealing with or coming from. So there seems to be a relationship here that's strong and sturdy that they're dealing in. The next card I get is the Four of Coins. Again, earth element, right? So the Four of Coins is about admiration from afar. So we may have someone here that is admiring the Taurus female. She's not maybe aware of this, okay? She's in a relationship, but she may have an onlooker or someone who is at least interested in her, maybe waiting for her to bust up this relationship, maybe waiting for her to become single. But I feel this Nine of Coins energy is just not going to let go. How you say? The Nine of Coins not going to dissipate here. It's strong, sturdy, and it's, you know, got good essence for the future. Like, we're going forward here. We're pretty steady. So there's some kind of an energy here that's steady. Now, we're talking about, okay, I got to break up the singles and couples. We're talking about couples energy, long-term, fully committed relationship. These guys are both dedicated to each other. Nothing's going to bust it apart, okay? Now, this is, if we're talking about that coupled relationship, we're talking about someone outside that is still admiring that female. You know, they're in that way, okay? Now, if we're talking about the singles, we have, I feel like the singles are working on their self-esteem issues, okay? We need to kind of jump up. The ones in a couple are feeling stable. Their core is what it needs to be. Their inner core is very much in the way that they're feeling confident and grounded in themselves, and they don't have no doubt about it. But the singles are behind in that. They're really doubtful, and they've got a lot of issues they got to deal with in regards to fitting in with other people. They're really looking outside of themselves at this point for validation, not inward. And a couple, the female Taurus in a couple is not. She's very much, she's self-assured, and she knows she's got what it takes. So she, excuse me, so she's confident in that way. Now, if we're dealing with the singles going forward here, we may have a situation where we have a companion at our side that may be platonic, because they're giving me the word platonic. We're not getting into the, you know, physical side here, but we got a strong, sturdy foundation where we know each other, we know our habits, and we're always there for each other. So there's something here on a long-term basis, whether you're single or couple. I mean, when you're a couple, it's your partner, but when you're single, there's someone there that you feel absolutely stable with and grounded, and that's just, so it's like it's always been there, okay? But in the meantime, on the single side, we have somebody who's admiring the Taurus female from afar, kind of taking a step back, and I feel an energy of just waiting for the moment to come in, right? Waiting for the right moment. Because I feel like this person from afar figures they're in a relationship or this long-term, you know, they're attached. So they're just waiting for her to become single. And I feel like they are kind of on the outskirts. They're not dealing with this person, you know, on a weekly or even a monthly basis. They're kind of in the background somewhere. So that's what's going on there. Now, the last card we get is the King of Pentacles. So that's interesting, because we have three cards here that symbolize things. We have the Queen of Coins, okay? That is the element, that is her, that lines up right with her. So that is her. And we have the King of Coins. So that is a partner. Not only a partner, the one, soulmate. I'm getting soulmate, maybe not, you know, flame, whatever word you want to put on it. Maybe not the higher realms of the, but definitely a soulmate companion here. And I feel like that is maybe that person that's been by your side all this time. Someone that, for whatever reason, it hasn't gotten physical or is not physical at the moment, but they've always been there and they know you well. And, you know, it's just like, it's secondhand, or how do you say? They just have been there for the long haul, all the way through here. And I feel like if we've been through relationships or whatever, they've also been there as a friend and, you know, companion to talk through, well, this didn't work out, and the other person's dating. So it's almost like these two are friends. They could be companions, and maybe they are. One, they could be past life soulmates, right? They could be people that the reason you feel so comfortable with this person is because you've known them for a few lives here. I don't know how many offhand, but these two are definitely, they've known each other before, okay? and they feel very comfortable. But at this point, I don't think either one of them, okay, I'm going to have to change my mode here. I think that the female is not quite aware of the male in a potential kind of solid, grounded way. Not that they're not solid and grounded in their own right, but they're not looking to them to fill that spot. They're looking outside of this person, okay? Now, this card could also symbolize that this is part of the man's point of view. He's feeling like he's an outsider, but he wants to be that part. And it, you know, we could be dealing with the same man here all the way through. We got a companion here that is highly attuned to this woman, and he may feel like an outsider, like he's not being let in, you know, and he's just waiting for the time to pounce. In the meantime, he's just keeping up with the Jones, and that's him there, just waiting and watching to see when he can come in and when's the best time. Because at this point, I feel like the Taurus female, she's just really preoccupied with other things. And this person is there, and they go to and communicate. But on her mind, it is not a partner that she's looking to be in a romance with. In that way of long-term commitment, that's not what she's thinking at this point. So it's interesting. You could have a companion right in front of you that is an absolute soulmate, but for whatever reason, the Taurus female is just not accepting that, or not wanting to accept that, or can't get out of the friend zone. One of those things, you know, just not the right time for them to come together. But nonetheless, the man here in this situation, he's just waiting. He's going to stick pretty close to her through no matter what. I feel like they've been through a lot already. Like, because they're showing me a long line of relationships on the Taurus side. He's been there all along. He's been there. She goes and talks to him about it. Oh, yeah, this one hurt me this way. This one hurt me that way. And they discuss all of this. But there's a line drawn in the sand for this Taurus woman. She's really not looking at him in a way of a soulmate partner. Not yet, anyway. You know, she knows she feels comfortable. She knows that she doesn't have to put up any bars. She is herself 100%, but she doesn't realize that's what it's about, right? So she's got to go out and pretend to be someone else with all these other people before she realizes that you really have to be accepted for who you are. And that's part of that self-esteem issue that she's trying to figure out. Okay, so we're going to move on to the sex side here. So we do have a soulmate couple here, but no realization on the female end that that's what it is. We got him. He's right close, you know, but we've created distance here. The female's created the distance. The male pokes in every once in a while just to make himself known. I'm here for you. You need me, I'm here. Whatever. And he will. He'll jump when she says, and now I. So she knows that to a certain degree, but I think there's just other things going on. She's just preoccupied. Okay, so on the sex side of things, we get the Three of Wands. So no matter what's going on in this Taurus's life, whether you're single or coupled, we got a good sex life going on. Got a lot of passion, right? And we're exhibiting that to our partner, for whoever, right? So if we're in a married relationship, look at the ties here, right? And I mean, this is, oh, I got to go back here. Yeah, they're going, karmic tie is huge. But there's a lot of resistance within the female here to not go there. So she won't, for however long that takes. She needs to gain some experience in this area. But she's getting it. There's a partner here. I feel like the singles, they may be just being the single and just kind of going outward in that way. We have a karmic tie, and they want you to be highly aware of that, okay? There's some karma here with a soulmate, that coins guy. That's what's going on. Now, the next card we get is the Death card, 13. So, oh boy, okay. We have 3 of Wands, okay? I got to break this down again, singles and couples. The singles, they're good, or the couples, they're good. They're having great sex life. Now, what the death comes in, there's a transition here for the couples, and it has to do with the physical side of things, okay? We are on a trail here. I'm getting that we good sex life. We know each other so well, but maybe something has to change. This, you know, carries a lot of passion with it. So either we've switched gears and done something different to bring that out, right? We've ended something in order to bring upon this passion, or we're just simply trying to gain that passion back, okay? But something here is transitioned, okay, in the couple's relationship. Now, we're talking about a singles. We have good sex life, but guess what? It's going to end because you may be dating, or we're just not getting the passion that we need, okay? And they're going, yeah, that's what it is. If we're single and, you know, we have a lot of passion to give, but there's no opportunity for it. It's the sense. Then the next card I get is the 6 of Swords. And the 6 of Swords, I attune to mean that we have a distancing in the physical arena here. Okay? So it's interesting because we have a passionate physical relationship here that has ended. And we have something else physical that has started, but our head's not in the game. Okay, here we were all in physically, we wanted, but it ended. Something happened, broke it up. Now we're going to a place where we get physically, but we're not into it mentally or emotionally or any of that. We're just kind of off in la la land. We're having sex just to have sex, but there's really no benefit to it. We're just scratching an itch here. It's not pleasing us in a way, okay? So where do we end here? Well, the Knave of Wands. So we end. This is very interesting. Because we start with passion, that ends. Then we go somewhere and we kind of, it's almost like on the dating scene, we're going in areas that just aren't fitting. Okay. We're trying on a few things here. And then we just keep moving on. Because I feel like these are 2 separate energies. This is a Swords and this is a Wand. I feel like this dude here, we're just, like I said, we're just having sex because it's maybe an opportunistic thing. The opportunity's there, so we have it. We're not pleased. We're not getting anything really out of it other than a release. And that's that, okay? So there's an outlet here. And then the Knave of Wands is about that passion again, restirring that passion. So I feel like one of the scenarios that could be happening is we had someone we were dating and we were getting enthused with. There was good physical action going on. It ended. Then we had maybe a friends with benefits thing come into the picture where we're kind of just taking it, but we don't have anything emotionally invested because we're just kind of hooked on that. And then we get to the Knave of Wands where we're off in another direction here and fired back up again. So we're going to go off in another direction and pursue something in that way. And that's a feeling of newness I get from this one is like, yeah, I'm liking, you know, so again, the fire's passion. Passion's fired up. This is more of a long-term passion, right? Look at the way he's holding her, da, da, da. This one's more like first time, you know, let's just indulge and take advantage of that. And this one here is just having sex because the opportunity's there, but nobody's, you know, he may be getting, but her, I just get a sense of distance when I look at this card. She's off kind of thinking about other things. She's not enjoying it fully. And I mean, the 6 of Swords is about leaving and traveling, right? So when we're talking about intimacy, we're leaving our bodies even. We're there, but our body, like our minds, sorry, are gone. And that's the sense I get with this because we're talking about sex here. I don't want to lose too much. We don't go back to the traditional meanings because it takes us out of the sex area. But we have, you know, for the singles, they're kind of just dating and trying to find one that fits here. In the meantime, I feel like they have a fallback guy. You know, I think they have a fallback relationship where they can just go get whatever they want until they find, and then something else comes in the picture that fires up their passion. And I have a feeling that they may be abusing a situation here with whoever is there. Depends if that person. I hope it's not this person, because there will be a little bit of a there'll be a harness here to take care of that. Because if it's this person that's by their side all along, which it could very possibly be, waiting for their chance, they come in. It could be a codependent relationship. That's absolutely what's coming through here. You know, we have someone that's sitting there all along and just waiting for their chance, and boom, they end something, and then boom, what was I saying? He's waiting for his chance. He comes in here, gets some, and then she's already moved on to somebody else. So hopefully that's understood by, I feel like it's understood by her, or maybe not even thought about by her. It's just done, just in the moment, doing what she's doing and moving on. So a lot of fiery energy. So that's the horizontal. Now we're going to go vertical and see what comes out here. I take the first card from each area, and we just go down the row with it. And it brings out some different energies, some different things that come out here. So the first card in the first deck, in the first tarot, is the 8 of Wands. So that's that Dramarama card, right? Oh, woe is me. I've got stuff going on, and I can't quite see my way here, but I feel like a victim, okay? And then look at how the hope, this I feel is like the universe calling at her, like, I hope you look at yourself clearly, because we're not being honest here with ourselves. There's something out of whack here, and we're not truly looking at all the details, okay? And there she is. There's her. So there's a lot of hope, and I feel like the hope going back to the 8 of Swords is we have to be honest with ourselves. The universe pushing you to be honest about your details in your life here, especially well, they're going in all areas. We're in all areas. It's blanketed for this Taurus female. She's really not coming to terms with the reality of where she's at in any area, career, love, any of it. She's kind of floating, doing what, which is not a bad thing for most parts, but we're creating consequences here. We're creating karma we're not aware of, is what's going on. And it's going to come back. Okay. Now, the last card we get in the sex side is the 3 of Wands. So that's that bringing that karmic tie. And this is where the truth is not being revealed. Okay. So we have a karmic tied relationship here that this Taurus female is not being truthful about. And look how she's looking sideways at this. It's almost like, I know, but I don't want to know. I don't want to see, right? I know that this is a relationship that is karmically tied, but I'm kind of resisting. Okay. And then there's hope here that she'll come out of this illusion that she's in, because there's a lot of lies being told to herself by herself. Why? To avoid this karmic partnership. Why? Because she's creating negative karma to a degree that I think she knows she's going to get it back. It's going to come back. So she's going to try and avoid it altogether so that she doesn't have to deal with any of it. Is the sense I'm getting. That's the singles. Okay. Now, when we go into the couples here, there is still some truths here that need to be looked into. Hold on, I'm gonna tap in here. Okay, they're going. There's relationship issues here, and they're not taking ownership of their part. So they need to understand. They're kind of looking. You have your faults, and they're focusing on that. And they're not taking any account as to what, you know, my part is in the relationship. They're just going, you. And absolutely, there's like a, not even a resistance, because a resistance is like, I'm trying to look, but I'm not getting anywhere. There's an absolute block against looking at their own actions in the partnership to see what's going on. Now, the universe, again, throwing hope and light their way, right? Let's light their way, trying to give them time and intuition to say, wait a minute, have I done this? Have I, you know, am I pointing the finger and then I got to deal with my own stuff first? So I feel like that's going to be the latter part in the fall, maybe, because there's a huge energy shift in the fall. And that's when people can change their viewpoints. And it doesn't take much to push that change because it's just a universal switch, right? The energy switch, and then suddenly you're kind of introspective and going, wait a minute, you know, but it's whether we're going to download this or not. So the Taurus female in a coupled relationship has got some lessons, some issues in that relationship that she needs to deal with. But what she's dealing with is her partner's issues. She's picking at her partner, and she needs to be kind of looking at herself as well, right? And then this is the Taurus energy, and it's just that it's strong-willed. I feel like the Taurus female in a coupled relationship is more strong-willed, more, you know, and therefore that barrier to look at what I'm accusing outward, I do not look at myself. I look at the partner, and I feel very validated, and you may very well be, but these are also things we have to look at ourselves. That's why it's so irritating, because we carry it ourselves, right? And then the Three of Wands is in the coupled relationship. Maybe she does time and takes time to do that, or is realizing that there is something here that needs to be worked on. Now, give me a minute. I'm trying to tell me something. They're showing me an argument, which is the opposite of this card. So give me a minute. It's almost like in the beginning here, we may be confronting our partner about things. We have an intuition here that we might be resonating with this, but we're not looking inward, right? We're just going outward in our power. But the lover, right, the partner, is going to softly suggest and put, you know, deal with that intuition toward her. He's going to do it in the softest way he can, and he's going to get through to her, is the feeling I get. Now, when there's time for it to sink in, she might get a little fired up here, but I feel nonetheless the point is taken. Right? Because he has the one in the partnered relationship is solid as a rock. He has a very good key to her. He knows how she works. He knows how to get underneath her. He knows how to lift her up. And he knows how to, you know, talk to her to make her understand like nobody else does, right? Nobody's business. He knows her better than she knows herself. So therefore, he can get in there and really make her understand things in a softer way. And I feel like he's a soft touch with her. He totally gets it. He totally gets her, understands her, and he's going to make her understand this. It's just going to take a little time. And over time, I think she may warp it away. She may have some issues here with being told how to adapt to the personality or whatever, you know, like she may have some issues like, don't you tell me, da, da, da. I feel a little bit of a sputter there with that, but nonetheless, it sinks in, okay? And over time, we might have a little blow up, but again, everything's so understood in the coupled relationship, it's a non-issue. And this guy even sees that coming as well. She's going to spit and sputter, but you know what? She needs to hear this. It's time to tell her. Time to sit her down, you know, and he's going to do it softly. Just little waves. Little suggestions. Like you said, he knows how her mind works. It's like he's a part of her. So, you know, again, we have a situation here where we have a pair, right? King and Queen of Pentacles. These two are meant for each other. So he's got the keys. Universally, they gave it to him when he was born. And that's it. All his life, he's worked towards and had been geared towards this female personality or this partner coming forth, right? So, very interesting energies. There's some issues with the Taurus female no matter. Okay. Now, that's the second rung here, right? That's the first rung. Holy. Okay. Second rung, we have, what's my time here? 9 of Swords. So these are the worries and anxieties and stressful things that is filling this Taurus female's mind, right? We want her to get out of that state. The universe wants her to get out of that state. We're thinking too much about the negative. Let it go. They're going, let it go. We got to let this go, or it's going to rip us apart and take everything else with it, including our good, solid relationship. We don't want to do that because that's really what keeps us afloat, they're saying. The next card we get is the 3 of Wands. So, it's interesting how they're looking at the anxiety. It's like there's a circle here for this Taurus female. She's really looping into, how do you say, like she's getting caught up in her mind a lot, you know, maybe not realizing how much it drags her down physically, even emotionally, of course, but physically as well. There's a sense here that we're looking back at all this anxiety. We're thinking the anxiety, we're talking about the anxiety, and then we're creating more of it. So it's a vicious circle. And I feel like we either, like, you know, this is about waiting for things in the future. But I get a sense it's just anxiety. It's just a circle. It just keeps coming. So it's like this guy's looking back on his anxiety and just making that loop. So that's something we want to get out of again. It's a habitual way that needs to be broken. And I think we're aware to a degree, but we're not aware how much it really brings us down, how much it affects us, okay? And the 9 of Pentacles, talking about this stability here. How do we get out of it? Lean on this person, dump on them. And I feel like, you know, to a certain degree, this guy's ears are kind of blind to that because he knows, right? We get caught up in the negative. He's not stopping her quick enough to say, hey, don't, you know, enough of that. He's just letting her vent, thinking that's a good thing. But when we're in that much fear and anxiety, it's not a good thing anymore. It's gone too far already. So it's just not right. It's not good for anybody, right? But he's, like I said, he's got a blind ear to this. The partner does. So he's just letting it go, right? Because if he gets caught up in that, he's going to get dragged down as well. And then there's the ending. We need that ending for all that anxiety, right? Now, they're telling me, you know, this fear and anxiety, they started with that energy pretty lightly. We got to watch that it doesn't tear our relationship apart because it's just going to transfer to that. I feel an overwhelming urge here for coupled singles. I feel like it lightly on the singles. Singles are kind of preoccupied with other things. I feel like this has more to do with the coupled situation. There's a lot of stress and anxiety within this woman. And it's almost like world issues, you know, fear of like world stuff that we got to let it go because we can't be worrying about, you know, bombs going off or we're going to get hit by some kind of whatever. None of that stuff matters in your day-to-day. You just live day-to-day. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, we carry on. We can't let fear stop us from living our lives. And that's what I'm feeling for the Taurus female in a coupled relationship. They're letting fear run their lives. And they got to stop that. Because we got to look forward here, but we're just looking back. It's like we have all this fear and anxiety. We're going forward and we're looking back at the fear and anxiety. That's all we see is fears and anxieties everywhere. This is the coupled woman I'm picking up on here. And we got to watch because we have a solid relationship here. But, you know, there's maybe a point here where we got to transition into a better part of who we are. We got to get to a point where we end all this fear and anxiety because it's going to take out, you know, the relationship is sandwiched in here. It's solid right now. We don't want to mess it up. So be aware of that energy there. Okay. Now as we go to the third down row, first one I get is the Queen of Wands. That's that energy they want you to take on. They want you to start doing and acting, making Yeah, taking action from those thoughts that you're getting from the universe, intuitive thoughts, right? Act on intuitive thoughts. That's directly what that card is about. And also the, you know, the happy, the yellow in there, the sunflower, be happy. You know, this negativity is bringing us down. Let's not do that. Let's not spread the negativity. Let's spread the happy. Boom, there it is. Okay. 5. 5 of coins. Feeling left out, right? And I felt that was for the singles, adapting in the work area as well. Yeah, and you know what? They're going for this coupled person that is the coupled female that is, you know, overrun by stress and anxiety. We are being left out. Why? Because of the negativity. So we're getting to a point here. It's getting to a point where we are stopping. How do you say? Okay, let me get my words. People are stopping inviting us over. They're stopping because of our negativity, our negative attitude. And it's not only like we don't want to visit with you anymore. You have nothing good to say, or we always get on a wrong track here. Like, so we got to be aware of that energy. We're really isolating ourselves. Okay. From the inside outward, we're just, that negativity is just starting to wrap itself around us and create a band. We don't want that. So take your positivity forward, because that feeling of being left out is real. That is real. Why? Because we're creating it by our negativity. And it's becoming a plague nobody wants a part of. And that includes you, and you carry that energy forward. That's not good. So we need to be more positive. I feel like the Taurus can be very positive. We're kind of in a virus zone here with the negativity. So we got to watch that. It's isolating us from other people. Okay. Now, the next card we get on the romance side is the 4 of coins. Okay. And the 4 of coins is about that person that is keeping watch, right? The person that is feeling, I'm getting on the single side, there's someone that's watching this female and they want in. That's what they said. I want in. But there's no opportunity there. And for the coupled, I feel like it's the partner feeling distance from, or creating distance, but not in a negative way. Like, I don't want to talk to you, in a supportive way, but they're not realizing that they're actually fueling the fire here by letting it go and not putting a foot down. They just don't want to be confrontational. So within the coupled relationship, the person, the husband or partner, is sitting there and going, that's okay, I'll just let it be. I'll let it be. But sometimes letting it be is not the best format to take, because a person can get out of control before you know it. And this is the sense I'm getting here, because it's being, that energy is being isolated from their social gatherings, right? The wife is being targeted as a negative influence, and we don't want them around anymore. So we got to watch that. Okay. Then we have the 6 of Swords, which is bringing, if we're talking about a coupled relationship here, we're being intimate, which makes sense. If we're dealing with a lot of negativity in the coupled relationship, our head's not all in. We're not all in emotionally. How can we be if we're on the negative rant, right? So we're not getting the most out of the coupled relationship that we could, okay? Our head's off in la la land. We're not in that emotional state where we can absorb all this stuff equally. So it's all going all over the place. Now, for the singles, we are kind of isolating our own selves in a way. I don't feel they're highly as negative as those in a coupled relationship, which is interesting. But we have someone from the outside here, you know, wanting to get in, wanting to stabilize a relationship with you, but it seems like you've got other distractions. And if not, you know, or maybe indulging in a friends with benefits situation to kind of tide us over to the next relationship, because we're lightly dating is the sense I get. Okay. So there's that. Now, the Next, the last and final energy series here, we get the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is about sadness, disappointment, and depression. So we're really diving deep into this, okay, to a certain degree. There's some out of control. They're going, it is out of control. And not just inwardly within the Tauran female, outwardly. We have to watch our vibration. They're going, there's absolutely no accounting for this vibration here. We're just going out and spewing negativity everywhere, and this cannot be. What, you know, they're confused. They're going, why is this? This cannot be. We're getting caught up, addicted to the negativity is what it is. There's a negativity addiction going on here internally in their own mind. They're rolling around nothing but negative. And externally, they're talking about nothing but negative, and people are not going to have it anymore. So the outside world is going to start shoving this Taurus female, saying, hey, that's enough of that. It's coming at her. So she may even have, they're going, she's got examples of this already. She's not learning. She's not taking the little poke. Now they're going to push, and then they're going to start smacking. So we got to, it's just negativity. We just got to change our vibration. And it sounds easy, but we're really caught up in a habit. Okay, so the Two of Swords, when we come up against this, is a decent thing, because that means I'm going to stop. I'm going to, you know, I'm going to assess things. It's going to, and that's from her own saying, okay, I got to take a break here. So there's a realization that the negativity is getting out of hand, and something happens here, she's going to do it. But I feel like it may not be outward yet, but it could get that way if she starts back up again. But she's internally, she's going, okay, I'm going to truce this. I'm just going to, okay, I won't say anything, right? Maybe going on in her head. She's not going to say anything outward. She maybe pissed someone off and they told her. So now she's going to just kind of mum's the word. So now we got to work on the mind and clearing that out, so that we're not going outward with it. And then on the, interestingly enough, on the romance side, there's the King. So it may be that King, right? Getting through to her, right? And telling her, right? In the way that she needs to hear it, the way she understands, in that compassionate way that he knows her so well. So there it is. He gives her the power for her to inspire her to truce on this. Yeah, you know, it's not like you to be negative. Don't do this. Or it is like you to be negative, but I'm not enjoying it, and we need to, you know. He's making sense to her. Okay. He's gotten through to her. Now the next card is the Knave of Wands, and guess what happens because of that? Everything starts to clear up. We get rid of this distance energy in the bedroom. This is for the couples, right? And we get back to the loving passion. Why? Because she's starting to let go and release some of that negativity. That man is a strong source. Whoever, Taurus female, in a coupled relationship, solid and sturdy man, this is, you don't want to lose that relationship. This is strong and sturdy that not many people get throughout their lives. He's there for you 100% for your highest good. So don't ever doubt that. Don't ever doubt that, because that's, he's really helping you blossom into a positive person, right? Or you know, he just really has all the keys to keep things activated within you. So very strong feeling that the ones that are coupled up, married, long term, I'm talking like 10, 12 years here, this is the way to go, right? He's there to support her when she's down. He kind of gives her that space. I feel very patient and very loving and caring, compassionate to a degree I almost can't encapsulate here in my own mind. So he's got the keys. He's used them. He's inspired her to come forward in more positivity. And then that's what's going to happen. So over the summer, she might get in a little funk there, but he's going to bring her softly out of it and put her on all the feathers and let her go. Hopefully she starts talking about, you know, sunflowers and sunshine, and away we go. So yeah, we want to get rid of that distance energy. of not being in the relationship here, because there's a sense here we don't want to lose our partner because we're just being a negative Nancy, right? And this is beyond that. They're going, it's beyond negative attitude. We're spewing it outward. It's one thing to carry it inside. You eventually start to attract that. But now they've carried it inside. They're spitting it outside. And people, now it's creating havoc. And that's what's going on. So we don't want that. And for the singles, again, we're having a situation here where we're sad. We may have had some high expectations for a partner. And they let us down. So we're trucing on that. And this is that solid person that's there no matter. They come out of the woodwork. Whenever you need me, babe, I'm there. And then, you know, we may have either, you know, it may be from that person, but I'm getting again, I don't know, it's a separate energy. This is like a future partner. We may be coming across that future partner and indulging in some passionate, you know, carrying things forward. So for the singles and couples, that's the way I see it. So I'm going to recap the overall energies and tie this up. Okay. So we have a sense of the Taurus female being very highly felt within her purpose. Now, again, there's some things here she's not seeing fully. Okay. She's not really looking. She's looking at her world in a distorted view. Overall, okay, there's a distorted view here no matter what. They're going, it's across the board. This is something she has to figure out. But nonetheless, she feels like her life is going really great. But there's going to be something come up here over the summer. It's going to show her she's got to step it up a bit. Okay, we're losing opportunities. Opportunities are passing us by. We're not on our toes. That's what they're saying. Okay. And then we have the Justice card again, keeping things in line. They're feeling that they're justified in what they're doing, though the universe is going to show them where that's at, okay? Because what's really going on here is, like I said, there's missed opportunities. Hi there. Hi, Imelda. Thanks for coming in. The universe has given her opportunities. And they're letting them pass. So there's justice here that's got to catch up. And not only they're going not only in the work area. Now, and I feel highly for the singles in the romance area. The justice is going to come back on the Taurus female. There's some karma here that needs to be balanced. Now, nowadays here, if you are caught up on your karma, because some people are getting the funnel down of the energy, because as of 2012, we have to repay all the karma that we've had in the past. And through that, we have a process of maybe being in a rut, right? And we could be in a rut for a while if we got a lot of karma to deal with. So we got to pay that back. Now, if you've done that and paid your dues and you go forward, this is more instantaneous. It's going to be, you're going to pay back things within the relationship you're in. You're not going to be 2 relationships down before you realize, oh, I did that to someone 2 relationships ago. No, you're going to get it right back right now in this relationship with this person directly. They're going to see the results of that in that way. So that's what's going on here. I feel like there's some justice here in a romantic kind of way where these singles are going to be caught up with their karma, okay? And they're going to have inspirational things come at them to kind of warn them of that, okay? Because this inspiration can usually come in a way where, you know, it's blooming from the inside, but this comes from learning lessons. We've learned our lesson and now we've bumped up, and that's all a karmic issue. So be aware over this summer that we're going to have some choppy water here because we got some karma we got to pay back. And depending how good or bad you've been, that's how much you will pay or be indebted to. So if you've been good, you're going to get it back balanced. They're going not like tenfold. We don't do that anymore because that's a buildup, right? Now it's instant. So we're going to get exactly what we give by someone else. It's going to be that mirror that we get it back. Boom. There it is. So that's what's going on for the Taurus female. So she's in for ups and downs, basically. Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's going to be different for everybody, that karmic process, because I feel like depending on your sign or when you pay these things off. But as of 2012, I think that through that time zone, we're slowly getting into the funneling down. So by now, right, 6 years later, we're getting into a zone here where a lot of people have paid off past stuff. Now it's just what we're doing now stuff, right? It's going to come back. And it comes back so quick that we know exactly where we laid it off, right? So if we gave bad karma, we're going to know right away, oh yeah, that was this one here. I did that. You know, just like a kid swearing and then he trips and falls on his nose and, you know, swearing. My boy, this happens all the time. And I just laugh and I go, man, you know, getting mad or in judgment of someone else, right? And I'm like, I never taught you this stuff. Where are you getting it? But they get it from other kids at school, right? And then they shoot it outward, and then boom, literally not even finished coming out his mouth, and he trips and bangs his knee or something. And I'm like, well, come on. Like, this is what's going on. So a little bit of that for the Taurus female. But it's all to awaken her to what's going on. We need to understand the rules here. We're getting into a different energy field, and it's going to be hard for a lot of people to adjust. Meaning we had things that worked before, so we're going to keep trying to make those things that worked before happen, and it's not so. And that's what's going on here. So the Taurus female is trying to, I don't say weasel away with anything. We're just unaware of the consequence that we're putting on someone else. Just unaware of their opinion. We don't put their opinion high enough. We feel like they don't care. And that thought process leads us to a point where we do things to that person that we wouldn't want done upon ourselves. But we're not in realization of that, but they're going to put 2 and 2 together here over this summer. And then they're going to start making adjustments from there on. So for the Taurus female, that is, whew, we went over time here. Thanks for your comment, Imelda. Yeah, karma is interesting. And I mean, it's an interchangeable word here. And I, you know, sometimes use it wrong myself, but the balancing of energies, right? Go out and smack someone for no reason. You turn around, you run into a bus, you know, like this is what happens. You know, we got to balance it. It's a law of the universe. That's what people don't understand. They figure if they get away with stuff, nobody sees, that it's okay. But it gets tallied. There's an invisible tally that goes, and then you get it. But now it's a lot more instant than it was before. Because before we could get away 10 years. So you're completely lost as to what happened 10 years ago. I can't remember. Who was I with? What did I do? I don't know. So it was lost in the shuffle. So in a sense, you're getting away with it. You're not, because the universe balanced that energy 5-10 years later. But, you know, to a certain degree, if you have an evil ex, then you just need to let them be, because they'll create their own havoc. You just need to get away from that and not get caught up in it, and you'll be all right. But anyway, yeah. So I'm going to be trying to come in here and finish off the Taurus male energies. So give me a bit to ground out. And I actually have to do some running around, so it may be later in the afternoon here. Well, that makes it easier, doesn't it? That's awesome. Yeah, that's the benefit of long distance relationships. You can just disconnect, and then you're done. You can avoid them. So we have to watch, like, because there too would be the temptation to incur karma, and then we have to pay anyway. We'll have somebody in our face doing that. So it's interesting, because there's a lot of adjustments here in the way that we deal in, especially in relationships. I think how we deal with stuff like that. We feel like, and I feel like a lot of men are caught in a situation. I know it's women too. Don't get me wrong. They're caught in a situation where They figure if nobody knows, I can get away with, and there's no getting away, man. We're just going to feel it from somebody else down the road and not that far anymore. You know, if we have someone going out and cheating on someone, then guess what? They're going to go and get into a relationship where they're caught up and feeling heartstrings, and then they're going to get busted. It's just the law. It's a law of the universe. It's like gravity. You cannot change it. I mean, they put you in a room and take all the air out. You can change it. It's physically possible, but it's not a law, you know, and in the way the air just sits, this is what's coming at you. So I don't know, but these Taurus women are definitely going through some lesson learning things, and the ones in the couples are really going through some negativity, addiction to negativity, you know. And it may be even in that codependent arena. So we got to look into that and research that and find out our part in it and just chop it off at the base, because it's really creating a world of havoc we do not want. We want peace, so why are we focusing on war? You know, it's creating more of it, and they don't understand the process here. Yet I feel like the Taurus female is smart enough to get that, but we're just not cluing in. We're in an addiction, right? So you just keep doing it because it's a habit. But anyway, I'm done my rant. So I will catch you guys in a bit here. I got to do some running around and end of the month things. And then I will come in, and I'm hoping to get the Taurus and the Gemini done by the end of the day. We'll see how she goes. Yesterday I was quite flattened by the energy, man. I did not want to get up this morning. So we'll see. I might have to drip into the next day here, but nonetheless, thanks for coming in. Thanks for the compliments. You guys are so nice in the chat. Thank you, and you as well. Have a good day, evening. Take care, have fun, and be kind, and we'll catch you.